In this video, I'll show you how to push single camera performance capture to its absolute limit in Unreal Engine 5.6. No expensive equipment, no suits, no Headrig. Just a single Android phone camera driving the performances of AAA quality MetaHuman characters. We'll be putting 4 of the best single camera mocap solutions head to head, running them through the gauntlet of an entire short film, comparing cost, accuracy, and speed to see how they perform in real production start to finish. I'll walk you through using a single camera to capture your mocap, and how you can combine that exact same footage with MetaHuman Animator to achieve full performance capture, face and body, with as little gear and as little cleanup as possible. And when you combine that with my crowd simulation plugin OverCrowd, you'll see how easy it is to create massive battle scenes and zombie hordes that bring true cinematic scale to your films. The whole idea for this video started back at Unreal Fest in June. Matt Workman and Corey Strasburger did a live demo on stage showing real-time performance capture using a camera-based mocap system for the body and a consumer-grade webcam for the face, running through MetaHuman Animator live. The fact that this was happening in real time was already impressive. They were using the Captury, a high-end multi-camera mocap solution I actually demoed myself here on this channel. It's incredible tech, but that setup costs tens of thousands in software and hardware. And that got me thinking, if the face can be captured with a webcam, what's stopping us from combining that same footage with offline single camera mocap for the body? This could be the simplest, cheapest full performance capture workflow imaginable. To find out, I wrote a 5-minute pirate-themed short film. I wrote out everything from battle scenes, duels, dialogue scenes between multiple characters, and blocking that would test how much I could actually walk around and maintain a good capture. Now, I've already used these tools to make short tests and tutorials, so in this case, I wanted to see if they could actually be used to make something resembling an actual film of some kind. I would use as many AAA quality assets from Fab as I needed, as well as the best assets from my own massive library to make it look as professional as possible. And, of course, any mocap solution of any quality can be cleaned up enough to look good, depending on how much time and effort and skill you're willing to put into it. But I was interested in spending as little time cleaning the animation as possible, even if it meant looking a little rough around the edges. The goal was speed and ease of use, and fun, really.
The treasure is all mine, matey.
Now, if you would like to follow along with the tutorial, the first thing you will want to do is get your MetaHuman characters ready, so your project is ready to ingest your performance capture and get it processed and into your scenes. So everything you'll see here was done in Unreal Engine 5.6, using the brand new generation of MetaHumans. So make sure you have your MetaHuman Creator Core data enabled under your engine install options, and then enable all these MetaHuman plugins in your project. This will give you access to the new MetaHuman Creator right inside your project, where you can create a MetaHuman from scratch or select one of the brand new presets and work from there. You can add MetaHuman clothing from the marketplace, and in my case, I used these amazing pirate outfits from Polyphoria. Then you can rig your character, download the textures, which in my case I chose 8K, the highest quality, and then hit assemble, and your AAA MetaHuman character is ready for full performance capture.
That's just 3 days sails from these waters.
Alright, now that we've done that, let's get back to capturing our performances. So I needed a camera setup that would work for both MetaHuman Animator facial capture and full body mocap. Now, I should say, I love Headrigs. They're still the gold standard for facial capture. I've used everything from DIY rigs I built for $30 to a high-end captive devices rig that costs $30,000 and is used in major studios, and then everything in between. But for this project, the goal was to eliminate as much gear as possible. And the irony is that as soon as I got rid of my $100 Headrig, which I have used in budget mocap tutorials in the past, I ended up buying a $130 wireless mic set from DJI, because with the phone several meters away, it would no longer be close enough to get clean audio. So it plugs right into your phone and captures your audio directly to your footage.
Against myself. By the time we found the cave, I'd already decided.
So I shot everything on my Samsung Note S23 Ultra, recording in 4K 60 FPS on the main neutral 1x lens. So avoid the really wide lenses, since they can distort the movement at the edges of your frame. Also, you'll see here that I threw in an A pose and T pose at the beginning of my takes, but you actually don't have to do that unless you are using Marionette as your mocap solution. More on that later. But for now, let's look at the test results and see how MetaHuman Animator performed with this single camera setup. And honestly, it held up surprisingly well, even from across the room, as long as I stayed roughly facing the camera. Once I had the capture workflow down, I ran every performance through 4 single camera mocap systems: QuickMagic, Meshcapade, Move 1, and Marionette, using the exact same footage. Same lighting, same framing, same performance. I tested them pretty thoroughly with dozens of clips with different actions, and while all were capable, 2 clearly stood out for this project. QuickMagic was the fastest and easiest to use. A 1-minute clip processed in about 10 minutes, costing roughly $2.94 per minute of animation. So QuickMagic will only process clips up to 60 seconds long and under 200 megabytes in size. If the take runs longer than a minute, just split it into segments. Since QuickMagic and MetaHuman Animator don't require calibration, you can easily string those segments together later in Sequencer. So then drag and drop the clip into the QuickMagic web editor, select the Unreal Engine 5.6 mannequin skeleton, and if you're doing a seated or upper body performance, enable upper body only. This is a feature that is unique to QuickMagic. It locks the hips and auto-poses the legs, which is perfect for seated scenes. Then download the FBX. Now, in Unreal Engine's content browser, import it as animations only, selecting the UE5 mannequin skeleton. Then you can right-click and retarget the animation, where you can select the MetaHuman skeletal mesh and retarget for MetaHumans. Now, paired with MetaHuman Animator, QuickMagic captured subtle performances beautifully. Not that I'm a particularly subtle actor or anything, but it really got the eye movement matched with the subtle head movement that really brings your performance capture to life. It's not perfect, but this footage is nearly raw and still feels like it would not take much to clean it up. The only weakness I found with QuickMagic is walking. On takes with a lot of blocking, the hips tend to wobble, so I kept it mainly for dialogue and upper body shots. For movement and spatial accuracy, I used Meshcapade. It's slower, roughly 18 minutes to process a 30-second clip, and pricier at about $10.80 per minute. But the spatial accuracy is incredibly solid. It handled walking toward camera, turning, and even shots of me hanging from the ship rigging with no drift or sliding. The system stayed spatially consistent and handled the more complex blocking really well. Now, Meshcapade also has one unique advantage. It can capture multiple performers in the same clip. I tested this with footage from my Move Pro sword fighting animations, and it tracks both actors surprisingly well from a single camera angle. Each clip costs the same, whether it's one performer or 2, so it's great for fight choreography or interaction. And if cost weren't a factor, Meshcapade might be the overall best choice. It's only really held back by occasional hand jitter and sometimes odd foot placement, but you can easily frame around those issues, and the body motion itself is consistently excellent. The other two, Move 1 and Marionette, really come down to value. The Move 1 S1 model costs $50 a month for about 20 minutes of processing, roughly $2.50 per minute. And the S2 model with their DeX advanced hand tracking costs $250 a month, or about $8.30 per minute of animation. It's a reliable middle ground option if you don't mind doing a bit of cleanup, like smoothing out jitters. Now, Marionette runs offline with a flat yearly fee of $150, so your per minute cost is basically zero. It smooths motion more aggressively, but it's definitely usable with some tweaking and for background animation where it isn't the main focus. So for the film, I ended up using QuickMagic for expressive, acting-heavy dialogue and Meshcapade for walking and full-body movement. Stick around to the end to see the total price breakdown of all the motion capture credits I used to produce the film. Now, on to the new, updated workflow for processing the face animations using MetaHuman Animator. To start, we need to import the footage we used for our body mocap using the new LiveLink hub, which you can find under the Tools menu. Change Live Data to Capture Manager, then click Add Device, and select Mono Video Ingest. With that selected, change your take directory to the folder with your mocap performance footage. Then, you can select the takes you want to import, which should be the same clips you uploaded to your single camera mocap platform of choice. So with those selected, click Add to Queue, then hit Start. Now that the footage is imported, you can start processing it using MetaHuman Animator. Start by going to your content browser, right-click, and go to MetaHuman, and create New MetaHuman Performance. Open that up and change the input type to monocular footage. Then, under Footage Capture Data, you can select the clip you want to process. Then, you can select a visualization mesh by clicking this menu and searching Face, and then selecting the face mesh of the MetaHuman you would like to see with the performance. Then, under Head Movement Mode, change it to Disabled, since we don't want MetaHuman Animator to process the neck movement, only the face. And that's all you have to do. Just hit Process, let it do its thing, then Export Animation. Then, you can create a new level sequence. Add your MetaHuman, delete the control rigs, and add your body and face animations to the appropriate tracks. They should line up perfectly. Now, once all the dialogue and performance work was in place, I wanted to push the system further, to see if it could stand alongside some more professional animation for the action scenes. So, for the fight scenes, I used my own sword fighting mocap pack, captured with Move Pro using a 6 GoPro setup. Each animation was performed by 2 stunt actors simultaneously, so every strike, parry, and dodge is spatially accurate. Both performers reacting to each other in real time. Now, because these are paired cinematic animations, they drop right into Unreal, already synchronized. These aren't short game loops, they're long cinematic performances, so you don't have to worry about stringing a bunch of smaller animations made for games together. And they all come with MetaHuman facial animations that you can use right out of the box. You just drop the animations onto 2 MetaHumans in your sequence, attach some swords to their hands, and you have an instant action sequence you can start filming. And if you just want to experiment, I've made one of the looping sword fight animations free. You can download it by signing up for the email list below. Now, these sword fighting animations are perfect for creating large-scale battle scenes quickly and efficiently. OverCrowd lets you take modular metahumans and wardrobes, pair them with animations, and spawn hundreds or even thousands of high-quality animated characters in your scene. You can put paired animations, like my sword fighting animation pack in there, and it will spawn the characters dueling with each other over your entire scene. It's perfect for background action, so you can focus on your hero characters while OverCrowd fills the frame with action. For the Cavern sequence, I recorded my own idle and reaching animations, and then I fed those into OverCrowd and spawned over 5,000 zombies, which would all reach for the characters as they walked past them above. Now, as the co-founder of OverCrowd, I'm a little biased here, but this is probably the best tool on the market when it comes to creating large-scale battle scenes and crowds like this in Unreal Engine. So if you want to bring epic scale to your films or games, you can find it on Fab by following the link in the description below. So now that we've talked about all the mocap and the crowd stuff and animation, I want to talk about what my favorite part of the process is, which is doing the virtual cinematography. It's why I go through the trouble of getting all this animation into Unreal Engine in the first place, so I have something interesting to film. Each shot was its own sequence and had its own camera, lights, and characters, and I converted everything into spawnable actors. That way, when I open a shot, the assets for that scene appear in the world. If you are making an exterior scene that is lit by the sun, you can add the scene's directional light to your sequence and convert it to a spawnable actor. This way, you can easily adjust the angle of the sun from shot to shot, and it won't interfere with the lighting in the other shots. And when you are making a lot of shots for the same scene, you can simply duplicate your sequence and use that as the starting point for your next shot. It keeps the project much more organized, and you can revisit shots, weeks later, and Unreal Engine will rebuild it automatically with the same camera, same lighting, same animation, etc. It's like having a mini set file for every shot. Now, for the cameras, I used a 70mm IMAX film back, because why not? I was switching between 40mm lenses for wides and 80mm lenses for close-ups. So these camera and lens settings will give you the compression and depth of a long lens, but the field of view of a wide one, which will feel more cinematic and makes things just kind of feel more grand, for lack of a better term. If you want to learn more about why IMAX looks the way it does, I highly recommend this video by Thomas Flight. So, with all that said, please enjoy the film.
They say Blackheart's Grove lies in the Cavern of the Damned, just past the Isles of Devil's Reach.
I reckon we can make a dough of it. That's just 3 days' sails from these waters.
It's a cursed treasure. No man returns.
One man returned. Me.
You shot the treasure and waved a telltale. Who are ye, old man?
I was captain of the Santa Isabella, stolen Spanish galleon. 40 guns, 100 souls aboard her. All dead now. 2 British frigates cut us off the ears of Devil's Reach. Should have surrendered. The gold fever had taken all. They'd been mad with it.
A galleon against 2 British frigates.
No pirate crew can reload that fast.
Where's this treasure, then?
Well, listen, and I'll tell ye. We carved through those redcoats like a hurricane through sailcloth. They were stricken, but none only greed for treasure.
Captain, look out!
The hussars lobotomized, matey.
Thank ye, Captain. Mind you, Captain. Look out!
Me matey and I won that day together. But then we were battle. That was stood a camel against myself. By the time we'd found the cave, I'd already decided.
Decided what, old man?
The Cavern of the Damned. Every soul who died seeking that treasure over 1,000 years, locked below, still hungry, still reaching, grasping. Blackheart's gold. Enough to buy kingdoms.
Hussars. Just like they promised. She's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, Captain. Captain?
The treasure is all mine. Meaty.
Quest equals stairs.
Well, come and take it then.
You betrayed your own Ratey?
What did you do with the gold, you filthy barnacle bother?
Never spent a single cursed coin. The damned all rose to take me treasure from me. They followed me 20 years. The curse blows monsters. You sliver, but what are you darling?
So you say the treasure's still there?
Okay, thanks for watching. Yeah, so this is what I was able to make in about 3 weeks, including about a week of pre-production and testing. It's obviously pretty rough, especially some of those AI voices, but it was a lot of fun to work with this extremely minimal mocap pipeline. So in total, I ended up recording and processing roughly 18 minutes worth of motion capture animation across all characters and all scenes. If the entire thing had been done using QuickMagic at $2.97 per minute, it would have cost $53. Meshcapade at $10.80 per minute would have cost $197. For my hybrid approach I used for the final film, I processed a total of 16.5 minutes with QuickMagic and 2.5 minutes with Meshcapade for a total of roughly $74 total motion capture cost. All right, if you want to hang out and chat about Unreal Engine filmmaking, consider coming by the Discord and show us what you're working on. It is becoming an awesome community and a great resource for this sort of thing. And sign up for the email list below. We have exclusive offers and giveaways, as well as updates on all my upcoming content. Okay, I'm Charlie, and I'll see you in the next one.